Well, hello, and welcome again to the 2012fad.com. I will be your host for this evening, and my name is Charlie Bluehawk. Last night, we talked about what most people don't know, and how really impossible it is, at least from my point of view, for someone to come into this tragedy fresh, to suddenly wake up and realize that something, wow, really is wrong, and then trying to comprehend the situation that they find themselves in. After living this nightmare for 40 years, I still cannot keep up with all the lies and the endless levels of lies. There's a gentleman by the name of Richard C. Hoagland. Take a look at his website, which is enterprisemission.com. Enterprise, like our favorite starship, and mission, enterprise mission, one word.com. Now, Mr. Richard C. Hoagland says that the lie is different at every level, and I know exactly what he means by that. Depending on your audience, your servants, your slaves, your enemies, the lie is different. It has to be. It has to be customized to your audience. Having grown up with liars, CIA and Army intelligence street thugs, and watching them lie so badly that the lie was so transparent, it was amazing that anybody would believe them. And yet people did. I spent 3 years in a place called New Zealand where the natives lie as part of their culture, and they lie so badly. And yet nobody questions them. And they're actually proud, the New Zealanders, when they lie about how wonderful they must sound, but it just makes them look like fools. And you really get sort of offended that anybody wouldn't even make an effort to lie, effectively to you. So I thought tonight we might chat about why we lie, and why in our world it's so much easier to lie than to tell the truth, and why we as a people actually expect to be lied to, and why lying is actually okay. I don't get it, but that's just me. It goes a long way to explain why we as a people are so easily led by lies, and why we are so easily accepting of the concept of being politically correct, which means letting someone else decide what we should say and what we shouldn't say. In a previous episode, we talked about how, if you are a homosexual pedophile rapist, I cannot call you a homosexual pedophile rapist, even if I catch you in the act of raping a child. Why? Because it's politically incorrect. And why is it politically incorrect? Because our masters and their servants, the Mandarin class, are all homosexual pedophile rapists. And they hate the thought of us knowing what they do to our children. And also what they do to their own children. And so, why do we lie? Because we want the easy out. Because we're afraid. We have been conditioned to be afraid of telling the truth. Why? Because the truth really will set you free. We don't want to be confronted with anything that might be painful. That's perfectly natural because pain is scary, because pain hurts. So when you tell the truth, someone's going to be hurt. And so we lie. The problem is, a lie doesn't last. A lie dies so very easily and so very quickly, and then it's revealed as a lie anyway. So why do we do it then? What do we have to do to cover up the fact that we lied? We have to tell another lie. And again, this takes us back to the country of New Zealand. Excuse me. I was invited to move to New Zealand as a high-end professional for 6 years. They told me that they were looking towards building the future of New Zealand. And all of their high-end professionals left the country for better pay. Well, that makes sense to me. You go where the money is. I wanted to go where people would be nice to me, where the women would not be sadists. And so after 6 years of swallowing this really excellent marketing, and I actually discovered the other day that the government of New Zealand actually hires an advertising agency, I believe it's Saatchi, to do this worldwide marketing campaign, which they spend millions of dollars on every month, to lure high-end professionals to New Zealand simply to destroy us. That'll be another story for another day. I also met a man here in Europe who knew the fellow who was in charge of that marketing campaign for New Zealand. He has since committed suicide. I have to admit, my first reaction when I heard that my friend knew this guy personally is I'd like to meet him because I'd like to strangle him to death with my own bare hands. But unfortunately, he'd already killed himself. And I truly hope he's in hell with his masters for what he's done to me and what he's done to so many other people. Because when I went to New Zealand, my life ended. My life was destroyed. And I met so many other high-end professionals in New Zealand whose lives had also been destroyed. And you know what? Many of them are still there today, trapped financially. I happen to know of one full college professor who believed the lies, we all did, moved his entire family to New Zealand, and they're now trapped there. Oh, he works at the university. He scrubs toilets. But it was a lie. And the lies don't end. The New Zealanders are so afraid, so terrified of the truth, that they have one reaction to the truth when you confront them with it, either deliberately or accidentally. Gibbering, insane, hysterical madness. And I encountered this in 3 years, not once, not twice, but dozens of times. If you confront a New Zealander with the truth, their only reaction is gibbering, insane, hysterical madness. And they will actually do anything they can to get even with you for revealing the truth to them, for actually saying the words out loud. The few jobs I had in New Zealand showed that this was the kind of fear that will do anything to destroy a culture, to an economy, will destroy everything, rather than face the truth. One place I worked, Telecom New Zealand, had one rule: never tell the truth. Always cover everything up. And so you cover up one lie by telling two more. You cover up those lies by telling two more apiece. So you go from one lie to 2 lies to 4 lies to 8 lies to 16 lies. After a few years, you never will figure out what the truth is because they've been buried under a series of lies. And these were all such simple things to fix if someone had simply stood up and said, okay, I'll take responsibility for it. Yeah, it's a problem. I'll fix it. But that would have meant they'd have to face the truth. They'd have to take responsibility for their own actions. They'd have to have some personal dignity. They'd have to be people. And that's something a New Zealander can never do. And so they lie. And the truth is never found. And so today, New Zealanders go to endless meetings talking about anything except how to solve the problem. Because to talk about solving the real problem, they'd have to face the truth. But you know, there is one thing about the truth. It really does hurt. It stings. It's awful. It just right in the face and you're down for the count. But you know what? After that one moment, it's over. You're free. You've faced the pain. You've dealt with it. Now you can move on. Now you can deal with reality. Now you can face the truth, and it can't ever hurt you again. But we're mostly cowards. And the more power we have, the more power we amass, the more afraid we become. If you ever look at the faces of our masters or of the Mandarin class, they have absolute power over us. And they live in absolute, complete terror. They live in terror every single day of their lives, and they live in terror of us. They remember the French Revolution just like it was yesterday. And they know that if 5% of us, just 5% of us, stand up and say no to them, they're finished. They're dead. And now they also live in terror of their God, their Satan, because now they've betrayed their own covenant with her. Members of their race have attacked Japan with an earthquake weapon. Twice. Once, the first time a year ago in 2010, the Japanese surrendered. And on betting money, they signed a formal surrender agreement, turning over their economy to the masters, to the Mandarin class. The second time, 2011, when Japan was attacked yet again with another earthquake weapon, a weapon so powerful it actually microwaved whales in the ocean, cooked them. Can you imagine what it would take to cook a whale in the ocean? Our masters, for vengeance sake, the moron masters, attacked Japan a second time after it had surrendered, and formally surrendered in writing, which means, under black magic ritual, they broke their own covenant with their own God. They did it again in Wisconsin, when Republican state senators broke the law and passed an anti-union bill. They have broken at that moment their covenant with their God. They cut their own throats with these things. And now they will react like all cowards do. Gibbering, hysterical madness. All you have to do is remember New Zealand. And as we always say, it doesn't matter if you believe in Satan. It doesn't matter if you believe in God. Our masters believe it. And that's all we need to worry about. But please, no matter what you think, no matter what you believe, please have a plan to survive for yourself, for the people you love and who hopefully love you. The 2012 Fad is brought to you by Coffee and Blood, Love Letters Between the Dead, a series of 5 erotica horror novels about a fallen angel finding his way back to regain his own soul, and how the CIA war against the human race, their black magic, captures and traps him in the body of a mind-controlled slave designed to hunt down and to kill their god, their Satan.